welcome to All About the Gers. It's myself, Ricky Neal, joined by Charlie Miller and Derek Ferguson. Big thank you to all our sponsors, the Louden Tavern and Ibrox, Plugged In Business Solutions, DB Dental Care, Mr. Sings India and Avia Signs. Make sure and check out all their websites and give them some business. And if you're in Mr. Sings or Louden Tavern, just say that we sent you and they'll maybe give you a free beer or a free Mr. Sings whiskey. Anyway, last week I was like, that team is pish. It was a wee bit different last night, wasn't it?
No. See, before we go any further, I just had a wee quick conversation with Charlie. What other insect can sting you?
Spider.
Apart from a wasp. A spider, can it? Aye. I've just been stung. You can get stung with other
things. Where's it stung you?
So get stung with a wasp bear. And who we playing on Saturday?
As well. I've got a funny story about that. When I was 18,
we're not playing jellyfish. We're playing.
When I was 18, first ever holiday to Ibiza with the boys, and we were in the water at midnight, and one of my mates gets stung with a jellyfish, and somebody says that if you piss on them, it takes the sting out. So we were running after them trying to piss on them.
Nah, that's just filthy, mate. I'm not even going. I can tell you a story, but I'm not even going to go there. Charlie's like raising his eyebrows.
Anyway, so last week I was like, that team's crap. We're definitely going through. But Charlie, last night they turned up, didn't they?
Last night they were good. They were at it for the beginning of the game. They put the boot in early doors. I think you probably noticed that yourself. They were right up for it. But we keep on shooting ourselves in the foot. Honestly, we just we take so many chances. I know it's the way he wants to play, but you need the players to be able to play like that. And see when it works, sometimes you think, brilliant. But every time they had chances, it's because we kept on just getting the ball. We're playing in stupid positions. But they were better than last week, definitely.
Right, Derek, what was your thoughts?
I did think they would be better, Ricky, on their own patch. I just looked at us. I mean, I don't want to concentrate too much on them because we want to talk about our team, but I think too many of our players just weren't at it last night, which was, pretty surprising because in Europe, that's not really happened over the course of the last number of years. So that was a wee bit of a surprise. Is it to do with the fact that we were 3-0 up, that they kind of thinking probably the job was done? That could have played a factor. But I just think too many of the players were off it, right for the off. Slack in possession of the ball, really careless, didn't take care of the ball, gave up possession far too easily. And when you do that, you invite the opposition onto you. And they done that, didn't they, Ricky? They pressed, they get shots at goal, they put us under a bit of pressure. And it was a wee bit uncomfortable for a short period when they went 1-0 up.
But like Charlie said earlier on, it's the style of play that they're attempting to play. And I noticed last night, I mean, Jack Butland made some great saves, but some of his pass-outs, he looks very nervous at kicking the ball out but they're trying to play it to feet. So
and we all know, everybody knows, all the fans out there, listen, Jack Butland's a terrific goalkeeper, but he's not the best with the ball at his feet. So the players should recognise that. What I'm going to say is it to my boy last night, to Darren. See, when Jack does get possession of the ball, I think he should be asked to play into certain areas. And the player should recognise that when he's in possession of the ball, get into an area, a couple of players where he's going to put it. So, because he's no good at building up, we're going to get caught. So, I would prefer Butland just goes a little bit longer. And if the players know that, they recognise that, they get themselves into that area as quick as where they can find them. So it's he was our best player last night. Without him, by the way, could have went into extra time. So we know that he's not the greatest with his feet. So we've got to find, and this is the manager's got to find another way with Jack in terms of how he's going to play out for the back.
Charlie's actually up in the Thistle now doing his football academy up there, so that's why he's just going to get cut off there for a wee minute. But Charlie, you were just talking about the style that they're trying to play, and I was saying about Butland last night. I thought he was immense in goals, but he looks very nervous when he's kicking the ball out.
Because I think he's getting caught in two minds. He did have maybe 2 or 3 great saves. He had one great save that he put over the bar where the guy's got to score, but it's a wonderful save. So, and that's what he's there for. He's there to save the ball, but it was a great save and it kept the tie where, without it been getting too tense. So, but when he has got the ball, I think he's getting caught in two minds. Because I don't know if you noticed last night, a few balls, he pinged a few great ones right into the middle of the park last night, and it got us in a counter attack a few times, and we were just a bit wasteful with it. I think he's obviously been told not to be playing the ball long too much, and he's worrying that I can't keep on playing the ball too long, or the manager's got to be in his back. But maybe no. Maybe he is just struggling with confidence with the ball at his feet. But I thought he put in 2 or 3 great balls. It got us in great attacks when they were doing the high press into the boy Cameron, who looked very good again, the wee man. But we just cause our own trouble. We really do. We're so slack sometimes. 5 yard, 6, 10 yard passes going astray. But then other times you think, oh, this is really good. We're great counter attack and just a few better passes. The final pass last night, the balls across goal could have been a bit better.
Ricky, that's what I'm saying about Butland with the ball at his feet. If he can't get the ball off quickly enough to where it's Suter, where it's Gija, Tav or Yefty, then he's got to go a wee bit longer because he's not comfortable when they start to press. So that's when Charlie's saying he was better when he was going a little bit longer. So they need to recognise that, and the players need to recognise that, and get into an area where Butland can find them, where it's a wee bit more safer. I'd rather give the ball away 45 yards for goal rather than 20 yards for goal. So that's something that they need to work on and need to sort out.
What was your thoughts on Yefty last night? I mean, there's rumours that he's been there's a Brazilian side interested in him. And I just thought last night, see when he lost the ball, there was a couple of times he wasn't even chasing back. He was like walking back. You know, it was very frustrating. I don't know if you noticed that last night.
He started quite well as well. He had that wee run and that shot, and I thought, oh, here we go. The wee man's up for it. He started some good moves. Him and Gassama were linking up decent early doors, and then it kind of went to pot. I think he was thinking about Palmeiras. But I don't mind Jeff, I really don't. But as I get what you're saying, Ricky, it looked as if he'd realised he'd get bullied, and then he just didn't fancy running back, which is disappointing. But I think he'll obviously be leaving. I think it looks like he might be away if Palmeiras are looking to sign him for $5 million.
Got a wee problem there, Ricky, because I think like Charlie, I think there's a player in there. I think that he's coachable. I think you can make him better. But there's been mixed messages sent to him. You know, he wasn't getting near it earlier on because we're playing Aaron's in that position. So he's still a young boy. His maybe confidence might have been affected a little bit. But he's got an issue in terms of his concentration and his focus. He doesn't switch on quick enough, as we've seen last night at certain times, even with the goal. So I think, there's a lot of work to be done with him, but I think we could get more out of him. But I just think because of what's happened early in the season, I just think he's kind of lacking a wee bit in confidence. And that can affect you that way, in terms of you're saying, running back. Sometimes young guys, they can feel a wee bit sorry for themselves. I don't know. It's just for the outside, like Charlie and you looking in.
I think Jeffy's probably better one up, like everybody thinks Tav is.
Good point. Aye. But I still think, that's what I'm saying, I think there is a player in there. You can see, like Tav, defensively, he's pretty average, to be honest with you. So, listen, he's a good athlete, the boy. He's got some good qualities, and it's like Tav, it's all going forward. So that's an issue, and that's a job for the manager. He needs to sort out, because defensively, we look frail, to say the least.
See what I'm thinking as well. They didn't start Tav against Dundee Saturday, right? And then you think the game last night is a game where you would probably start Aaron's because they know this team are going to come at us. He's probably a wee bit more solid defensively, although his performance hasn't been great. But you would think he's kind of listened to the fans a wee bit with dropping Rothwell and Tav and bringing Tav and Graskin back in. But I just think he doesn't know what he's doing yet. I don't think he knows what his strongest team is yet, to be honest with you, a manager.
It's funny that, Charlie, because that's what I kind of suggested, that they take Rothwell and Aaron's out of it, just to give them a wee breather, thinking that Tav would come in and be a better option in there. So Rothwell as well, I would always have Raskin ahead of him. I don't know, for me, Rothwell, we can see he's a good player, he's been a good player. He just not get that mobility for me, that dynamism that you need in the middle of the park. That work ethic in terms of tracking back, I just don't see that in Rothwell. But you can see he's a good football player. But sometimes we need a wee bit more than that.
I mean, I was really impressed with young Lyle Cameron last night. See if everybody had his work rate. You know, he was just non-stop. Even when he's off the ball, he's running about. He actually get man of the match on Rangers TV last night, and Ferguson gave him man of the match. How can the other players watch it and know try and do the same?
I think it's
Charlie?
just the type of player he is. We've obviously got Rothwell, who's not that type of player. Raskin, I think, is better, deeper. Diamande should probably be a little bit more like Cameron, because he should be trying to get box to box. And I think Diamande got buffed early doors, and that kind of took out the wind out his sails. But we Cameron, he's all the pitch. He keeps it. He doesn't lose the ball very often. He wins the ball back very well, and he gets into positions where he score. He could probably have in the first half. Tav's put a good ball into him, and if he's a wee bit more cuter, he can probably just bounce it off the Ant-Man. Instead, he kind of takes a touch and hits it out of the bar. But he gets into good areas and he works his arse off, definitely.
Ricky, that's what you get. That's for the Scottish boys. That's the Scottish mentality. They'll run themselves into the ground. I think what you've got with Raskin, Diamande, we're talking about Yefty, maybe even Tavernier, and the manager keeps talking about the relationships on the park. I think they're still working on the relationship between the manager and some of the players. Because these guys are in about the 24, 25 mark. They're experienced boys and they're looking to maybe progress and further their career. And sometimes they've got their own mindset in certain things. So, but that was never in doubt with you, Cameron. You always knew you were going to get that feeling. But what I said it in a show before, the wee fella always hits the box and there is goals. I watched him before over the course of the last 2-3 years, playing with Peterhead and that as well. So I was not surprised at all. And I think it would have plumped for Butland as man of the match, but certainly wee Lyle Cameron was different class last night.
I think Ian Ferguson just says he just got it because he got the goal, but it would have been Jack Butland.
You can understand that.
Charlie, it looks like Dessers got a sodium when he came off just after 50 minutes.
Yeah, I think he was in crutches going through the airport. So hopefully nothing too serious. If that's serious, because he went down holding. It looked as if he was holding his hand at one point as well. And it looks as if he got hit in the hand. And then, was that an earlier one? Was that an earlier injury? That was an earlier one, sorry. Aye, but the guy kind of just clipped him in the face, and he's kind of went back, and it looks as if his maybe ankle get caught in the ground, or the turf, or his knee get caught in the. Well, his studs anyway get caught in the turf. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not an ACL. I think you've had the ACL, Derek, and that's not a good one. So fingers crossed that it's not an ACL. Hopefully, it's just a wee, I don't know, just a wee niggle or something like that. But I think it'll probably be worse than what we think. And I think we'll have to look to maybe strengthen in that area. Even though I still think we did.
It's always horrible when you see the player with no contact, his studs caught in the ground, and his knee going in a different direction. So hopefully it isn't an ACL, but it doesn't look good. You could see the physios were right away, and they were like, we ain't taking part in this game. So that was made you feel that that's going to be a kind of long-term injury. Well, but we never know until he gets the scan. We don't know.
Hi, Derek. Is that was it ACL that went in loose as well?
It was, but it was different because it was contact. Lewis was going to line the byline at full pace, and he get tackled. So it was a tackle just as his foot hit the ground, and so with the force of the challenge, his knee went. But you see it a lot of times, even when players go up for headers, Ricky, and when they come down, you just see the knee going in an awkward, horrible angle. And more often than not, you know right away what it is. It's an ACL. So, but listen, you've got your anterior and your posterior, and you can do one or the other. And I think it's if you do your posterior, it's not quite as bad. Think of your anterior, you're out a wee bit longer, but it's a serious injury if it is that. So, but hopefully it's no. You'll get the scan. But these guys are back within 6-7 months. And I know it's something we don't want to hear. So we just need to wait and hopefully, and fingers crossed, that the big fella, it's no as serious for the big fella as it looks.
Oh, we seem to have lost Charlie. He's up in Thursday, so we'll try and get him on again soon. But he'll be back in the studio next week anyway. But Derek, with this Saturday, we've got the Alloa at Ibrox. And normally we shouldn't actually be worried about that, but when you hear that they beat Dundee the last time they played them, so it's not going to be an easy game on Saturday, is it?
And they just did get beat last night as well in the cup. They were playing in I think it was the Challenge Cup, so they suffered a wee defeat. But I watched them earlier on in the season, Ricky, away. They're playing away up at Airdrie. And I'll be honest with you, I was pretty impressed with them. And what I was impressed with them was they were really good without the ball. Very well disciplined. You don't want to hear this, what I'm going to say. They sit in and they're really organised, and they kind of park the bus. They don't have the ball for long periods, but they work their backside off. They're very disciplined. But what they did against Airdrie, who are a good footballing side, under wee Rhys McCabe, they hit on the break pretty well. So that's certainly going to be their tactics when they go to Ibrox. Of course, they're a part-time team. They're League One. They're not going to come and have a go. That's not going to happen. They'll look at the footage of Dundee. They'll try and replicate it and see if they can get something out of the game. But we have got far too good a player at our disposal to go up against a League One side and beat them pretty comfortably, irrespective of how they're going to play, where they're going to sit in. So we're looking for a big performance for the Wide Boys. But in terms of wanting them to perform, you need to get the ball to them early. See, last night, Ricky, did you think that they looked a bit restrained in their performance? When the ball was going out to the wide men, Gassama and Antman, at times when they would... I'm going back to the last game, Ibrox against Pilzin. Their first thought was, I'm going to take the man on. I'm going to get past him. They were looking to pass it. I'm not wanting them doing that. In fact, see if I was a player and I saw them looking to pass it, I'd be like, just get your man, take him on and get deliveries. So, don't tell me you're nervous going up against Alloa, are you? On a Saturday night?
Aye, it's shocking, isn't it? And I shouldn't be, but just see what you're talking about there. I noticed that actually with Gassama last night. See the one he was kind of one-on-one and he was looking like he was going to sprint right past the player, but he seemed to kind of hold it back a wee bit.
Pretty strange, wasn't it? I thought that as well. And Ant-Man as well, he elected to play, I think it was 2 or 3 times a pass, when I thought, you've got grass to run into, you've got acres of grass, go and drive it, the man. You take on the responsibility. See, this is where we're not privy to this. Have they been asked to play a little bit differently for the manager? I don't know, but it doesn't suit them. That's for sure. What we need to do with our wide men is you isolate them 1v1 against the opponent and let them go and do their magic. And see with Gassama, I thought when we were going to take him off, there's only one guy that should come on. Who do you think should come on?
Young Finlay Curtis, maybe, aye.
Absolutely, why would you know? So I was a wee bit disappointed last night that we didn't see the young fella come on. He wouldn't let us down. He's already shown that. He's pretty capable. So I thought it was a game that we were always going to win. So let him go on. Let him go and enjoy himself. Go and give us a shift, just like Cameron. You know what you're going to get. And also was a wee bit disappointed later on in the game when the likes of you've got Dowell comes on, and I'd rather see a Bailey Rice. Bailey is more than capable of going on and playing the last 10 minutes to see a game out. So maybe that's just me. It's just the way I feel about we don't give the young Scottish guys enough game time. But I just thought there was a wee case there to put the boys on last night and give them that a wee opportunity. Give them a wee tasty what it's like in European the European stage, because somewhere, maybe over the course of the next 2 games against Bruges, we might need them at some point. So, hey-ho.
Just before we go into the score prediction, I just want to let everyone know that we're doing a live show in the Louden Tavern on the 26th of September, and we've now got a special guest because Big Marvin's actually in Spain, I think, that weekend. So we've now got a special guest. It's Alex Ray. What did you think of him as a player, guys?
Loved him. There's a guy that wore his heart on his sleeve. Do you know, I was at the club when Alec was, 2-3 years younger than me, and it absolutely broke his heart when he was let go. But went to Falkirk. Listen, Alec was a real good player, and what was brilliant is he proved that when he went down to England. You know, he's really well thought. You see, Sunderland, Millwall, Wolves. Alec's a great boy, and the story. See what will be brilliant that night. It tells you a wee bit about the story of his life. Really humbling, and I've got so much respect for Alec Ray. What a brilliant player, a pure Rangers through and through. Love him to bits, Alec Ray.
I know. So what we normally do is the first half, it's normally just you guys telling the stories in it, the funny stories that you'll never ever hear broadcast on this podcast. And then the second half, it's a total open Q&A. And well, obviously I've done quite a few Q&As with you, and you don't hold back, you know, so it'll be a great night. But you can buy your tickets at allaboutthegers.co.uk.
Score predictions brought to you by Avia Sign.
Right, I'm going to start it. I'm going 5-0 Rangers. I think this is going to change on Saturday.
I'll take a 4-0, but I want to see the Scottish boys playing. I want to see Bailey Rice. I want to see Finlay Curtis. I want to see wee Cameron out there in the park. Give them an opportunity. And wee Moore, obviously coming up for Tottenham. I want to see them. Give all the youngsters, give some of the guys that have no had game time. Let them go and show what they're all about.
Brilliant. All right, that's the end of the podcast, but thanks for joining us. I'll go and get this edited now and see how it turns out. But thanks again once to our sponsors, the Louden Tavern, Plugged In Business Solutions, DB Dental Care, Mr. Singh's India, and Avia Signs. And we'll be back probably on Sunday after the Alloa game, and hopefully we've got a smile on our face. All right, take care, guys.